Hello, greetings to you, everyone. Uh, I would like us to look at this very important topic, which is the virtual environment in relation to the upbringing of children. And by virtual environment, I mean the internet. The internet space has become a place where we have everybody going there at any point in time within the day. Actually, people spend a lot of time over there within the day, and so do children who have access to gadgets or mobile phones, computers here and there. Uh, it has become very important that as parents we become very focused and very concerned about the interactions of our children on social media, because that is also another environment on its own. And so, even as you are looking at your immediate environment and trying to shape the immediate environment and control the immediate environment in a way that you can bring up your children very well within it, you also have to look at the virtual environment. If your kids or your children have access to mobile phones and computers and do go to Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, and the rest. Yes, because you may be very focused on the immediate environment, trying to tell them what to do, what to read, guide them as to how to say things, how not to say things, how to relate with others, how not to relate with others, when to sleep, when not to sleep, all these things you may be doing. But then when they go inside there in their rooms, when they are outside with their friends in schools and they have access to mobile phones, where do they go? What do they see? What do they read? This is very important. This is also another environment on its own. That is why I term it as the virtual environment. And so, if you are the type who is very close to your kids, you may become aware of which social media platforms they usually visit and which celebrities, which fan, or let me say, popular personalities they usually follow, which kind of things do they read, what do they view, and stuff. These are very important. When you know all these things, you will be certain as to how your children or your kids are doing on social media, whether they are following the right people, they are learning from the right people or the wrong people. This is very important. We have to police the way kids use phone. Now, even in a subsequent video, I'll be talking about whether kids should be allowed to use phone or not. So, for today's topic, which is the virtual environment, I'm just assuming that kids are using phone because they are everywhere. And so only those parents who are able to prevent their kids from using phones strictly, that could be rest assured that they are not using, perhaps. But then let's just assume that they are all using phones because they go out, they see friends with phones, some other friends of theirs maybe with phones, you see. And so we ought to be very close to our kids and make sure we know what they do on the internet space. It is very important so that you will know what is feeding into the thoughts of your kids, what is feeding into the perception of your kids, because what they see every day, what they read every day, what they hear every day has influence on their thinking, has influence on the way they do their things, on the way they outdoor themselves out there, even their dressing. Yes, they copy from people they see online. Of course, people they deem to be their heroes online. And so we ought to police all these things and make sure that we are guiding them right. We are guiding them right, because before you realize, they are into the virtual environment much more than they are in their immediate environment. Yes, because if they are always on phones, They may not be around. They may just be seated in the rooms in the area where you live and stuff. But then, if they have these gadgets with them, they may be spending much more time than you think. And so you ought to pay attention to this and make sure that your kids are not being misguided, your kids are not being wrongly influenced, your kids are not being fed with things, stuffs that will corrupt their mind, that will corrupt their thinking, that will make them lazy, that will make them to be wayward, that will make them to act in an untoward way. You get it? And so we as parents have to be very particular about this and pay attention to what our kids do online, which I term the virtual environment that our kids are likely to be finding themselves in the social world. Thank you very much for listening to me. I shall be following in a subsequent video with whether we should allow our kids to use phones, and if we should, how do we really have to see them use the phone. Thank you very much for listening to me. See you in the next video. Bye.